Do you relate well to being spiritual and not religious? Are you looking to transform your life to have greater purpose and experience more joy and abundance? If you are, you've come to the right place. Welcome. I'm Neil Pinkman, the spiritual director for the Center for Spiritual Living, North Jersey. Over the past 2 decades, our open and affirming, diverse community has helped countless people in the same way. Enjoy watching. If you like what you see, check us out at cslnj.org. All right. Thank you again, Robin and Patricia. And now it is time for our February affirmation, which is in the chat for everyone, if you'd like to read along. Aware of the depth of this spiritual teaching and the very powerful application of it in my life, I free myself from the idea of separateness. Oneness is my awareness. There is no outside. There is no other. I have compassion, understanding, and the inspiration I need to create a loving and kind world. And so it is. So now in February here, we are in Black History Month, and we have Donnie who's going to bring us a special reading. Donnie?
Hello, check the chat. It was a long time ago. I had almost forgotten my dream, but it was there then, in front of me, bright like a sun, my dream. And then the wall rose slowly, slowly between me and my dream. Slowly, slowly, dimming, hiding the light of my dream. Rose until it touched the sky, the wall, the shadow. I am black. I lay down in the shadow. No longer the light of my dream before me, above me. Only a thick wall, only the shadow. My hands, my dark hands, break through the wall. Find my dream. Help me shatter this darkness, to smash the night, to break the shadow into 1,000 lights of sun, into 1,000 whirling dreams of sun. Thank you.
Thank you, Donnie. And Robin, I believe you have a song for us.
Yeah. Donnie, thank you for that. That was beautiful. I felt that. Thank you. Suspend all disbelief and just dream. You might be surprised what you will see, 'cause anything is possible, yes. Everything's right here. Anything is possible. It's perfect and it's clear. Whoa, so hold a vision in your heart, 'cause there's no better place for you to start. 'Cause anything is possible, yeah. If you just believe, if you just believe, anything is possible. Anything is possible. You hold your destiny in your hands. It's time you realize and take a stand. 'Cause anything is possible, yes. Everything's right here. Anything is possible. It's perfect and it's clear. If you just believe, if you just believe, anything is possible. Anything is possible. Be the vision, be the light, be the passion through the night. Oh, share your vision, share your light, share your passion, even through the darkest night. Oh, oh, oh. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. Oh, anything is possible. Oh, oh, anything is possible. If you just believe, if you just believe, anything is possible. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. If you just believe, pray and receive. If you just believe, anything is possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Robin. Well, no introduction needed. Here's Reverend Michelle.
Good morning, all. It's good to be here on a Sunday morning. It's funny, I have a little flashback to when we had to be on Zoom and what that felt like for all that time. It's nice now that this is only on occasion and that we are not stuck to the screen. So I want to change my view here though, because I do want to see, although I'm going to be sharing I'm going to be sharing a screen, which is not something I normally do. But today I'm sharing a screen because I want the image. I want that feeling. Today I'm talking to you about Ikigai, which in Japanese, it's not the translation, but it's the essence of it is a their secret to joyful living. And I believe that in the United States here, unless you're really conscious, many of us are living on this fast pace, got to get done, got to get it right, got to succeed kind of energy, which doesn't allow us to drink in the moments for things like Donnie's poetry or Robin's music. I reminisce very often with my eldest son who lives with us, and we have passionate conversations about music. And we talk about, he'll say to me, "Why don't people just listen to music anymore?" Do you remember the days, those of you who are older, do you remember the days of sitting with your teenage friends and listening to music and reading album covers, right? It was fantastic. And somehow, not, I can't generalize, of course, for everybody, but I feel like we've lost a little of the joy of art and music and being. And I know in my family, although right now it's been a couple of months due to holidays and many changes, we have a tradition, or not a tradition, or I don't know, maybe it's a tradition of trying to get together once a month for a family meal. And just that alone, so that my grandchildren grow up where they remember their families getting together. Some of my fondest memories in life are the crazy, insane gatherings of family members where there were so many grandchildren that they just had us stuck everywhere. And I know I've said this before. My mother would take a ironing board, and she'd put it between two chairs so three or four little butts could sit together because we didn't have enough chairs or enough space. And that's a little different than Ikigai, but it's about being in the pleasure of life. We watched a very corny movie last night. Very corny movie, Ikigai. Not Ikigai. I don't remember the name of it. It was an Italian movie about this young girl who bought a house for €1, in Italy. That's the whole thing that people are doing now. But what came into the movie was the reminder to be in the pleasure of life. So for me, Ikigai and this conversation today, while this planet, or primarily this country, is in a shit show, you can agree, right? I mean, we're having a moment. What if we found a way to balance that so that our own essence could calm down? There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. And so I'm certain that many of us are feeling, while we can't identify it, are feeling a certain amount of stress, and I'm sure our cortisol is up, and that where it's landing in our bodies. And so today is about trying to give you a way, a perception to look, or a lens to look at your life through, so that you can breathe again. So you can breathe again. Friday night, we went to a show in NJ Pack, and we went to see this Italian guy. His name was Patricio Buoni. I don't know how to say his name. He was hysterical. He was talented. He was engaging. And for 90 minutes, I did nothing but smile. I did nothing but smile for 90 minutes. When was the last time you smiled? I mean, I'm telling you, I was sitting there with this grin on my face, watching this man singing this some of very old music, very Italian music, very romantic music. And then it was when he was funny, and he mimicked these other performers that you know very well. Some of you older people, Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra and Elvis Presley. So just smile, smile, smile. And I thought, oh. What a beautiful reset. I came home in the best mood, and just it carried over till the next it carried over to yesterday, and I'm still feeling it actually as I recall it, which is why we need community and why we need comfort with each other, because in our alone moments we can recall these things and it filters through our body. But on to Ikigai. And let me, how do I, there we go. Have you ever had a moment when you were so absorbed in what you were doing that time just disappeared? Maybe it was painting, gardening, writing, or even helping someone. That feeling, being fully present and alive, is what the Japanese call Ikigai, a reason for being. So, what I'd like to help us tie together today is our actions, but not as have tos, but as I choose to, so that we bring our full essence to everything that we do. And there's a story I've told many times, or at least a long time ago. I don't know if it's many times, and it was about when my son Seth was young, and like I don't know, maybe he was 4 at this point, 3 or 4. And being primarily a single mom, I made sure I exposed him to sushi because I wanted to be able to eat sushi with him. And so I remember one day post celebration taking him to what used to be one of my favorite little sushi restaurants. I don't know if it's still there in Livingston. It was called Zen, which is perfect for the moment. And I'm, because I'm being a minister and I'm being conscious about my actions and who I am in the world. On that day, instead of just taking him out to lunch, I made the conscious decision to treat him like he was a prince, not because I was trying to elevate his ego, anything like that. It had to do with my actions. I wanted to know, how would it be if I was in service to this child as if he were the next Buddha? And we've talked about that over the years. I think, Tony has, and I think Joel has. What if you treated everyone like they were the next Buddha? How would your relationship with people be? Would you be able to cease judging them in the way that you likely judge people right now? Well, how would that change? And I would tell you at that lunch, in that moment with him, there was a shift in me and a sense that I'm missing out if I don't engage people in this way. Now, maintaining that in the world that I live in isn't necessarily a simple thing. It's not. But it is a possibility that I increase it more often and use it as a reference point. Somebody used the word reset today. And what if we reset what matters to us and we reset our standards to be of one where every breath that we took was something we appreciated, and every one that we engaged through love and acceptance, and all the work that we do, whether you're retired or whether you're still actively in the work field, but that all of your actions were a blessing. So let me, okay. So some of the questions, and by the way, I did some research on this Ikigai because it caught my attention. Some of the information, if you decide to go searching for it, some of it has been westernized with charts and all this stuff. And then I found one where this with this Japanese woman, and she said, it's not the charts. It's not all that stuff. It's an essence. So while these 4 questions I'm about to present to you are were inspired by those charts that the Western world uses, the fact is that that is not the full essence. That is not the full essence of Ikigai. So ask yourself as you're listening to me, what do I love? Because that is the divine impulse within us. Spirit longs to express through you. What do you love? What what lifts you when you think about it, whether it's something that you're doing or a way that you're being? Ask yourself, like right now as you're listening to me, what do I love? What you love is way more revealing than you might realize. It's way more revealing than you might realize. Ask yourself that. What does the world need? And this, of course, I didn't grab it, but it reminds me of the Howard Thurman quote, which would have been perfect had I remembered to grab it, where he says, "Don't do what the world wants, do what fills your heart and soul." Because what the world needs are more people filling their heart and soul. So what does the world need is you being you. It's Robin writing her music. It is Donnie performing in the way she performs. It is Ty in the world writing his music. Or it's a spiritual director holding the space for individuals. Because if it, and especially if we marry what do I love with what the world needs, now we have found a mission. For me, that mission is the healing work that I do through forgiveness and shadow work. That's what I do. Because what I know is that when I hold that space, that precious sacred space for individuals, when I hold that space and present it in a way that serves another, I'm immediately served also. As a matter of fact, today Today, I will be presenting to the Centers for Spiritual Living Leadership Council and bringing what I do to support them in their intimate relationships right now on the board at the point of leadership. How did I get there? I took what I love. I take what I love. I'm being what I love and serving humanity. And so that came together to be recognized. What better way to do it? What am I good at? What are you good at? Ask yourself, what am I good at that's easy? I wish that we did this for our teenagers when they were coming through high school, and that we did this for the young people in colleges, so that instead of going for cash, they go for their soul's expression. How how many of you actually got to live your soul's expression? Because if you take what you love and you take what the world needs and you take what you're good at, is that not a formula for something wonderful? And then the question is, what can I be paid for? And if not to keep focusing on Donnie, but I will, or the other artists here, when you are being your art and you are being your message, there is a place. There is a place for you to be financially rewarded. And I never thought of myself as an author, but I have known myself to be passionate about lifting hearts and minds. That was sure. That was certain. I wanted to lift hearts and minds. I wanted to leave, and I want to leave the planet a better place because I was on it. I didn't realize at the time that I was seeking to be in the state of Ikigai. I didn't realize that that's what I was doing. But when I'm in that zone, there is no time, there is no stress. There's just me on fire doing Spirit's work through me, which is something that pleases me greatly. So take a moment, read these questions that are on the screen. What brings me the most joy? Like quietly go inside and just Ask yourself that right now. What brings me the most joy? What could I do for hours without tiring? Actually go inside and ask yourself, what can I do for hours without tiring? And this last question, what do others appreciate about me? And that question is not about getting acceptance or accolades. It's about seeing where others resonate with you, which where they truly, completely resonate with you. If you actually are asking yourself these questions, you might be led to do some things differently. You might be led to not do some of the things that you're doing. You might be led to finally take a risk, to allow your Ikigai to be what leads you and what guides your decisions. So in here, and this is so simple, and I have had to change my language because I was guilty of doing this sometimes. So on a Tuesday night, when maybe I want to stay up a little later and maybe there's a movie I want to watch because I want to relax, I want to get mindless for a couple of hours, you might hear me saying, "Oh, I have to watch the kids tomorrow. I have to watch Anna tomorrow," which is an all-day commitment with my granddaughter. And I realized I don't have to do that. I don't have to do anything I don't want to do. I choose to do it. I get to do that. I get to be a presence in the life of my granddaughter and my grandchildren. I get to do that. I get to serve dinner to my husband. I get to be creative so that I can feed him and that it brings him some amount of pleasure. I get to do that. So think about where you think you're stuck or where you think you have to or where you feel obligated and question it. Number one, if it truly is an obligation and it does not fill your soul, I encourage you to have the courage to stop doing it or do it differently. Because until we do things that fill our soul on a regular basis, we will never feel that sense of balance and ease and grace that comes with having a life experience like the Ikigai. And ponder this, all of my actions are a cause for good. I am a cause for good. Say that with me right now with your muted, of course. All of my actions are a cause for good. I am a cause for good. You get that? That you being who you are. And if it's retirement and you have grandchildren, it's about being a cause for good for your family, for your grandchildren. If it's being a good citizen with all that's going on right now, and however you're participating, to be a good citizen, but to know I am a cause for good. I am a cause for good. What I want you to leave here with today, I want you to remember that you were not put on this planet to be a doing machine. You weren't. You weren't put here to follow along. You weren't put here to just do a task, to have a job. And if we can bring, and oh my God, think with me right now, just imagine. Imagine what it would be like if all of your actions had joy associated with it. Can you get that right now as I'm saying that to you? What would you do differently? You might even want to put in the chat. What might you do differently if joy were always associated with your actions? Or if you could choose now to bring joy, to give from that passionate place and not from a have to place, not from a place of obligation. Who would you be? How would you be different? I am also because of good. Of course, it takes Richard Cummings to put a twist on something because, Richard's the twist always, you know. Yes, I like that. I am also because of good and as a result of good, right? Because oh, and I love Alfred. I'm sorry, look, I'm incorporating the chat into my talk. Alfred says what the world needs now is love, sweet love. Absolutely. Absolutely. In the middle of everything, in the middle of upset, in the middle of your disappointment. And see, I propose to you that if we want to be a cause for change, that we have to find our balance. We have to find our source of power. And you're not in power if you're emotional and you're all over the place. Your power comes from being plugged in and centered and aligned and on purpose. On purpose. I'd be in my craft room just making stuff. Yes. And if you can't do that all the time, because there's bills to pay, do it some of the time. Do it some of the time. So I'm just going to take a moment. Is there anybody that has a question or a comment that you would like to ask me either by raising your hand or in the chat? A question or a comment?
Well, I, for one, can't believe how many people watched the same movie last night. I'll tell you that. There's something common about this community, I'll tell you.
Wait, did I miss something? Oh, there it is.
Oh,
I didn't realize that because I didn't have it on my screen. Oh God, it was so corny, but so satisfying. Somehow it did both. Um, so here's what I want to encourage you to do. The movie was further up. It's called La Dolce Villa. I don't know how to say it in Italian. La Dolce Villa. Um, which was such a great follow-up for Friday night's concert with that Italian guy. He was such a riot. He was such a riot. He's been at Birdsong, by the way, Ty. I saw a video of him. He has performed there. So here's what I want to encourage you to do. I want you to do one thing every day that brings you joy. Do one thing every day that does not serve a purpose other than gives you joy. Can I get a show of hands if you're willing to try that? One, it could be a 5-minute thing or an hour thing, one thing a day. Notice when time disappears. Notice when time does disappear and how you are served when time disappears. Al, I mean, sorry. Al, you have a question that you wanted to ask or
No, you just asked if I would participate in doing
Oh,
one
I see
thing
you did
when.
that kind of, I got it. Okay. Good. I'd love to know the result too. I would love to know the result if you each invested in a moment of joy every day, how that would fill your heart and change, maybe the direction of some of what's going on for you. Um, my joy shows up in different places. Definitely is serving my grandchildren. I say serving, not out of obligation, but serving from love. I've been cooking a lot lately, trying new things and putting new things on the table. It's a source of joy for me.
and me.
Yeah, and you, which is good. That's good. It satisfies two people at one time. And when I'm lost in my writing, too. That's another source of joy for me. So people find your joy, please. Let's do this together in treatment. Let's solidify this idea in treatment. And please let go of everything else you're doing right now and close your eyes and allow yourself to surrender and to align with this entire community right now and with me speaking this word as together we recognize the one glorious power for good, for love, the essence and the intelligence that created all that is. Let us feel into that. Let us sense it raining down within our body temple, our heart, our mind, our soul. Feel it. Feel it coming over you. And as together we feel it, I know, not by myself, Michelle, but the I am of me, that each individual listening to this spoken word right now is lifted and empowered and reminded to be of joy, is reminded that they, each of us, are a cause for good, to be the loving, potent, powerful leaders, recognizing that as we bring love in every direction, wherever we go, that love shows up and it is multiplied. And I encourage each individual listening to feel worthy of this word, to release anything that could be in the way. Matter of fact, to never believe anything that is in the way, but to consistently return to the powerful place of the I am that says, I am a glorious place for love. I am the place where love resides. I am the place of joy. Let us remember that. Let that be our reality. And let us walk modeling this essence wherever we go, with a bounty of gratitude for the consciousness that we collectively create. I am so grateful. So I surrender this word into the bounty, into the law of life, into love. And I let it be so. Please join me in affirming that it is so by saying, and so it is.
One voice, one mind. Alleluia. And one heart, one love. Alleluia.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you, Robin. Beautiful follow-up. And thank you, Michelle, for the beautiful, beautiful message. You know, there's so many things just here this morning in the past hour that bring joy to me. I'll tell you that. The messages that are here, the readings that are done, the music, the talk. It's just a great place to be on a Sunday morning. So, and I am so grateful for it. Absolutely. And that's that part where we come now to expressing our gratitude and thanking everybody for all those people that are here, that do participate, do help support the center, that do help spread the word of this incredible teaching, not just to our community, but particularly to our community, to all of us here that gather all the time, not just on a Sunday, but during the week or during classes or any other way we get together, with the purpose of just helping each other lead more joy-filled lives that we want to live authentically. So, and that comes through the efforts of so many people in so many ways, for which we are all in this community grateful for each other. And that means volunteering, servicing, financially, whatever it is. And being here this long and being a community together, I know I am really grateful for it. So if you would, I just put into the chat there for everybody our conscious giving affirmation, if you would like to read that along with me. I bless this gift that I give today. I give this gift from my heart, and I give it mindfully. May my gift go further to heal, prosper, and bless this center and all who enter. I accept all good that comes as a real result of this flow, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly, and so it is. All right. So first of all, I'll start with this. We are in person and on Zoom next Sunday. We'll be in both places. Our speaker next week is going to be Tony Hamilton. You may be familiar with her, and I don't know if it's not a surprise to me that Tony's topic would be, knowing Tony, just another conundrum. How Tony and the word conundrum come together, I don't know. But she's going to handle it beautifully, like she always does. So please, that is in person and on Zoom next Sunday. And Michelle, if you would like to join me in just talking about this, what I had said earlier was that we're in 7 years of doing Science of Mind every day Sundays, and we've made a great effort. I know, going all the way back 23 years ago, we're here because we wanted to live the principles of Science of Mind, and CSL was our vehicle in order to do that, and the principles brought to us by Ernest Holmes. So in ongoing, trying to make sure that these principles are embodied so well in us, we've come up with what we are now going to call this year Science of Mind Monday. And Michelle started the year off with spiritual mastery. And that class is going extremely well, right, Michelle?
Oh my God, we are having a great time. Matter of fact, the class, and I was committed to do it no matter what. It started with a few people, but the excitement grew, and so we've doubled in size since the beginning of the class. It's so much fun. And so last week, very spontaneously, maybe wrongly, because I didn't ask your spiritual director first, but I asked them if they wanted to continue, and they said yes. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll on to this, I think, a 2-week break. Evelyn, is that right? I think you'll know. 2-week break. Okay.
March 24th.
Okay, so we're going to take 2-week break, and then we're going to go on to this thing called you. If you have not been in class for a long time, or if you've taken 1,000 classes and you're like, I did that, it's never the same, because we bring a new mind and a new consciousness and the enthusiasm right now. Please, each one of you, if you're here, join us, because it will lift your spirit. It empowers you to apply the principles. You grow the community. You get a lot of love from within the community. And so join us on Monday nights. And I'm gonna say what I know I've been saying for years, and I know Neil gets behind this. If finances are somehow an issue, never, ever, ever assume that we won't work with you. We'll figure something out, always. And your director has agreed to renew an old policy that we had, which is, if you're a teacher, you can come in with a 50% discount. If you know of a teacher, you've been trying to get them in here, they'll have a 50% discount. Why? Because we want to feed people who feed the souls. That's why.
Yeah, and revisiting these principles, revisiting these same books or these classes. In Science of Mind every day this morning, we had a discussion about forgiveness, and that you do work on forgiveness, and you do work on forgiveness, and you think you're there, and then all of a sudden you realize, oh, there's more work to do. So you go back and you do more work on your forgiveness. And this is a work in progress. And it's the same thing with living in principle, right? And living in these principles that you're not the same person you were when this celebration started, never mind 6 months, 6 years ago. So what I have found is that with reading these books, which maybe I've read 2 or 3 times before, with having the conversations with people that maybe I never did have the conversations with about this before, it really brings it fresh. It really brings it new. It has really opened my mind to asking more questions about what do I know. So, yeah, this is going to be a fantastic journey. If, in fact, you have, and somebody said in the class, well, what about this thing called you? If you have other suggestions, let us know, and maybe we can add it into this. Will be going on every Monday night in one form or another. Michelle?
Yeah, I just want to tie, I'd like to tie something in too. So I'm in a lot of conversations in the world with ministers. I'm watching closely the news. I'm not choosing to be, I'm choosing to be aware of the activity. And so I want to invite you to consider that while there's a call for social activism and a caring for human rights, what you bring to the table in a state of wholeness is more potent and powerful. And so while CSL&J might not be talking about those things particularly or directly, if we are feeding your potency, if we are feeding you the principles, then everything you do is more powerful on the planet. So it is not as if this is separate from the world. We can't afford to be separate or quiet right now. But a powerful you is a more potent you. So I just wanted to add that. So,
And that kind of goes to the quote that you had said earlier about the world needs you, expressing as you. And that's really true here. So thank you all for being here. This is just look at these faces. Just look around. Look at these faces. Well, now watch them smile. Here we go. Smile. There we go. That's a good job there, everybody. Nice smiles. And you do it on command. I'm telling you, it's just amazing. So as long as we're smiling, why don't we let Robin make us smile a little bit more?
Be the peace you want to see. Then share your peace with everyone you meet. Let it begin. Let it begin. Let it begin. Then share your joy with everyone you meet. Let it begin. Let it begin. Let it begin with you. And be the love you want to see. Then share your love with everyone you meet. Let it begin. let it begin. Let it begin with you and me.
At the Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey, we believe in empowering individuals to discover their inner strength and their connection to divine life. Through our supportive community, transformative workshops, and uplifting services, we provide a safe space for personal growth and spiritual exploration. Whether you're seeking clarity, healing, or a deeper understanding of life's mysteries, our center offers practical tools and timeless wisdom to help you thrive. Join us in creating a more diverse, compassionate, and kind world. Your world, the way you want to create it.